Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to number 347. That's episode 347, by the way. Welcome, everybody. It's so weird because I took last week off. Because it was my birthday, and I just came. What's the word I'm looking for? Lazy. That's what happened, and so I feel like I haven't been podcasting for a while. So I'm happy to get this episode out to you guys this week, and a phenomenal guest for today. Of course, I gotta talk that shop in that talk. If you want to keep up with me on Instagram or Twitter, you can do that both at Casting for Two. And of course, this podcast is available on all major platforms. So wherever you listen to it, if you want to do me a solid, do me a late birthday favor, leave a little review for me. I would super appreciate it because apparently people look at that, and the more positive reviews you have, the more they like that. So hey, why not? But yeah, and that's what's going on with me. But my guest today is a phenomenal singer, songwriter, musician. She has a new album out called Everything Is Fine, which is literally out right now, and you should go pick it up on all major digital platforms. Jamie Drake is on the podcast, and such a beautiful and lovely person. And I had a lot of fun chatting with her. She also likes to laugh, and that made me like her even more. So, Jamie, thank you for being on the show. Come back anytime, and I sincerely mean that. And pick up the album because it's a great album, beautiful music. But I'm done talking. We need to get in this episode, all right, everybody? So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. Are you having a pretty easygoing day?
Yeah, it's pretty easygoing. I'm just leaving a breakfast thing and getting some work done at the cafe with my little dog.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What coast are you located at?
I am on the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm based here
nice.
pretty much. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Nice. My day's going all right. Pretty lazy day, but I am located in Texas.
Oh, all right. Where in Texas are you?
San Antonio.
Cool. I've never been there.
It's okay. It's all right. I always, it's so fun because people will say, "Oh, I love it," and I'm just like, cool. Because I'm from Oregon, and that's where my home is. So.
Oh, how did you end up in San Antonio?
I have family in San Antonio, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, I'm just kind of here doing a pit stop, and then who knows where I'll go next.
Oh, okay, so you're just visiting. I see. So you're from Oregon. You live in Oregon?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I lived in Oregon when I was a kid, and I grew up there and became an adult in Oregon. And so even though I was technically born in Texas, I still feel like Oregon is my true home.
I understand that.
No.
I actually don't feel like I'm from anywhere because I moved around so much as a kid. So... I mean, I've lived in LA for a really long time now, but I don't know. I think also too, just when like you're touring more and more as a musician, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like home is on the road in a sense. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
all the moving around as a kid prepared me for that. So I guess I'm sort of grateful for that. It's a little weird though, feeling like you
I
don't have a home.
I mean, you could say the world is your home.
I know it's true. It really is true. Like I've been coming into that more recently of like trying to define what home is to me essentially because yeah, I mean I've been based here for a long time and I feel connected to it, but
Mm-hmm.
and it was hard like as I've been touring more and stuff. It's been an adjustment just with, you know, being used to that. And now I feel like I'm on the other side of that adjustment and I'm sort of like ready to I just want to be traveling all the time. I'm like looking into like, you know, like giving up my apartment and selling my car and then like buying like like a really nice van and having it converted into like a living space so I have a really comfortable
Right.
bed and I can bring my little dog with me everywhere. That's sort of my current dream for like touring.
I totally get. Sometimes I'll just because I love the woods. I'm a woods guy. I like trees. I like
Mhm.
greens and stuff like that. And I'm just always if I could just give it up and go find like go live in a tree house or a cabin in the woods, I totally would. And then I'll be like, but I like Wi-Fi too much.
Yeah. I bet you could have both. I am
Right.
sure. Have you searched the web and like looked for like you should just stay in some like Airbnb treehouse situations. See how
Oh
that
my
goes.
gosh. Yeah. So
They
I
exist.
mean, oh yeah, no, I don't have. I should start looking for tree houses, but I do have like some Airbnb like log cabins like
Mhm.
saved in a wish list.
That's cool. Well, you got to try it. I think I'm going to try renting someone's van
Mm,
and see how that feels.
yeah, yeah,
Like a nice one
I,
though.
yeah. I was gonna say because I remember when
For
I
a
was
tour.
visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was visiting San Fran almost a year ago, we were looking for places to stay, and one of them was a van for $50 a night. Or no, it wasn't a van; it was a bus for $50 a night. Um, Unfortunately, the photos didn't look that great. It looked like I'd get hepatitis, just walking in there.
you all
So,
you I understand what you're saying. Like I
yeah.
recently, literally this week, I've like looked up. If you just look up hashtags for van life,
Hmm.
people are doing some crazy stuff. Like
Yeah.
they just look like little tiny homes inside of a van. That's like they're cozy, stylish.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see now those, yeah, I wouldn't mind living in one of those, but yeah, no, this
Right.
one it looked like a homeless person found it and posted it online.
Yeah,
And
that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't.
y- yeah, no,
That
I
doesn't
doubt,
sound good.
honestly, the beds probably weren't beds, but like a bunch of coats piled up in a bed shape, which I don't know. I don't It
Weird.
doesn't sound comfortable to me, but somebody
Yeah.
might think that's luxury, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Funny.
not my thing. So is there? You mentioned being on tour and touring. Is there a place that you look forward to visiting on tour, whether it's because of the people or I like food or landmark, anything like that?
Yeah, I look forward to playing in Europe. Um
Mm.
I haven't done that yet and um I feel like there will be like I just feel like we'll get each other.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know? I feel like they will really like my music and I will like them as well. Um yeah. So the UK, France, Germany,
Okay.
all those
Nice. Nice.
places.
It's so funny because Europe is such a big place, and I think that is kind of lost on us sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't
I
know where I was
agree.
going with that. I was just stating that out because I
Like
always
we
forget
forget,
how.
like, hey, there's like
Yeah,
like Denmark, it's a small
right,
place, but
exactly.
they're very definitive, right? You know, so I mean, like, and each country is very definitive. I'm sure but to me, it's sort of, I mean, I guess the way someone would look at the U.S., it's kind of
Right.
easy to look at this big country and say, I want to go to the U.S., but like, which city do you go to? You know,
What's that? What the main one? What? Oh.
which one's the main one? There's a lot of
Yeah.
main ones, and there's
Right.
different coasts, and the people are different everywhere. Maybe not as different as like they are in like when you go to Italy and France or something, but um, yeah, it's sort of similar, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my only experience with Europe, my family went when we were when I was young, literally around Y2K time,
mhm.
um, and luckily my parents, they're fluent in Spanish, and that helped us get around Paris
Oh
because my
yeah,
dad was just speaking Spanish there with everyone.
yeah. Well, I've been to like France and Italy and the
Hmm.
UK. And when I was in Paris, you know, I had one of those little books. I was excited
Mm.
to like try and say things in French. I also heard that they didn't like Americans, and I was like, I really want them to like me. So I'm not going to assume that they know how to speak English, even though I know they do.
Right.
Um, and I'd try to say things in French, and they would just sort of reply to me in English because they're sort of like, I'm not going to speak to you in my language. Ridiculous.
Mm.
But
Mm. Hmm.
I think that I felt like they, you know, respected the fact that I wanted to respect them, maybe. I don't
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah.
But
Hopefully, I don't know. The Italians
who knows?
probably appreciated it more.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and actually Spanish to Italian um, is like more, it's a lot more similar, I believe. Like I took
Yeah.
Spanish, so like a lot of their words are like, if you change one or two letters, it's like the same word. So, so that was fun. But I mean, they're
Um.
different though.
Yeah. Yeah. No. But I'm curious to know, when did you catch that music bug?
Oh man, I mean, my first memory, um, I had to have been maybe two or something. Like I'm very much back pretty far into my existence, which is kind of bizarre because a lot of people don't really. Um, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but I have this memory of toddling down the hallway in
Hmm.
our grandfather's farm in Ohio, and I was um, toddling towards like this music I could hear playing. And as I get closer and closer to the end of the hallway, it was spinning edge of the window there, and it was
Hmm.
playing the Hallelujah chorus. How crazy is that? So
Oh.
I mean, for my very first memory, music has been like just like a language that I've just known. And my dad was a singer-songwriter, so he was always playing his guitar, and my brother and I would sing with him when we were little. Um, it's just, I've always sort of been haunted by melodies
Hmm.
um, ever since I was a child, and I just thought that that was kind of normal. But like, I think I was like in middle school, and I shared with a friend of mine like this melodic idea that was kind of spinning in my head, and she sort of looked at me like I was an alien. um, but yeah, that's always definitely been the case. And we had a piano for a number of years when I was, I think, in middle school, but I never really took lessons, but I would just make up little songs and stuff. Um, And then we moved a lot. So, one day we moved and the piano fell off of a moving truck, and that was like the worst day of my life. But a couple of years later, I picked up the guitar because my best friend's boyfriend played guitar, and he showed me a few chords, and I like immediately wrote my first song, and it just came so naturally. It was just in my DNA, I think because my dad played and sang, and my mom's a nurse. She would like sing for her patients and stuff, and my grandma. I grew up around my grandma singing in church and stuff too. Like it's just very present in my life, but it wasn't something that was like pushed on me though. Like I didn't have parents that were like, you have to take piano lessons or guitar lessons or whatever. And I think that would have been awesome actually, but I might be different, Yeah. I might have not chosen this. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise, I suppose.
It's always funny the amount of people I chat with who were classically trained, and they were like, "Look, I mean, as grateful as I am to get that training, like I had that rock in me. I needed to bust out. I couldn't do formal things. So who knows? You could have gone a classically trained route and hated it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I feel like my process of discovering music is as primitive as it possibly could be if living in the United States. I mean, we're really poor, so my parents didn't have the ability to like, and my dad, I mean, he played guitar, but like he didn't, I guess, when I was in my life, he would have showed me how to play. I don't know. I didn't really have like mentors around, like my mentors were the Beatles and the Beach Boys, listening to the oldies station and coming up with little melodies and stuff. I guess that's also why a few years ago, I started like a kids songwriting program of my own, sort of like teaching my own method, like just like with kids that are really young and they're not ready, you can't throw them into like some technical class because they're just not there yet. It's been really cool. I've had a lot of different students that have responded really well just to doing like one-on-one sitting with kids and seeing like what do they already innately know inside of them, and like finding that and encouraging that essentially, and showing them what they could do next. And a lot of really funny songs have come out of that because kids are just in this space where, you know what I mean? Like I basically empower them and say, we can write a song about whatever you want, and it's been really cool.
My nephew, he's 7 years old, and he's obsessed with writing these books.
Ooh,
but
cool.
he does the cover, and then that's the end of that. But they're books to him, which is fine because he's young. But one that he made up the other day was Stinky Underpants, and I was just, where did you get this idea? I don't know. Like, alrighty, and that's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he probably had some stinky underpants. He thought it'd be funny to make a book cover.
Yeah, I miss being a kid. That's all. Being an adult sucks. Sure. I have all these rights, but you know what? If I were to write a book called Stinky Underpants at my age, I would get looks.
Yeah, unless it was a children's book.
Yeah. Okay. I guess so. But is there an age limit to your songwriting class? That's what I'm trying to find out. Can I join?
You can join. I mean, I honestly, part of my mission too is like I literally will work with kids, but part of my like mission on earth, I think, is to also help just people wherever they're at in life, to help them uncover that like the child within, essentially, like, who are you when you take off all of the crap that you've had to adopt into your life, all the responsibilities that we deal with as adults and the things that weigh us down. We're here to be ourselves. Right. I truly believe that. And we're born into the world as ourselves, and then we take on different things and sometimes have to wear masks in order to survive. And
right.
I think it's incredibly freeing when you can, let yourself just be who you are.
Yeah, but I 100% agree with that, and I also have a kid's brain, so I'm right there.
That's great.
But I'd love to chat with you about Everything's Fine, your new album coming out, or by the time this comes out, it'll already be out. But either way, what was the story that you wanted to tell with the album?
Good question.
Or was there even a... No, just kidding. And you can't say stinky underwear.
What's the story I wanted to tell with this album? I mean, with this album, songs that I've put on this album are... I'm literally driving right now, so I'm like concentrating on driving and also trying to encapsulate this thought.
Right. Well, because no I was listening to the album and I was just listening through, and there's a lot of accepting who you are, but also accepting the loss of somebody, like moving on from somebody. That's kind of the impressions that I got.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, like, there were a loss of like relationships, like loss of faith in God. There's me grappling with different losses and wanting to also still offer that there is hope, even when, because as humans, we experience loss all the time.
Right.
And I don't know, I have like this faith that things are going to be okay, even when I feel like I'm at my lowest of the low point. But I also think a lot of that comes from just having experienced a lot of low points in life, and being able to see that, wow, I got through those. Not only did I get through them, but I came out on the other end like even more like strong and wise and hopeful and powerful. This album definitely celebrates that, being human and accepting the losses, but also knowing that things are going to be okay. And the music reflects this too.
Right.
It's very, just the production of it. We wanted it to reflect that same journey as well. it's incredibly hopeful.
That's as a person who, you know, goes through funks every once in a while, that was one of the nice things that I picked up on, is just you know, you're going to get through this. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
even though I know that, it's always nice to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's always the message we're hearing
Right.
in the world. But
Uh,
I mean, I think it's just the time that we live in too. It's hard to not get depressed about what's going on in the world.
right. Right. Well,
Things are
I have no idea. I have
changing
no idea
every
what's
day.
going on in the world. Yeah. No. I live in a cabin with no Wi-Fi, so
Really?
it'd be, oh my gosh, life would be so much easier if I just cut out the Wi-Fi. But anyway, you know what? That's neither here. I'm curious. Is there a song on the album that you're looking forward to performing to people?
Like one that I haven't performed yet, or?
Oh no, sorry. On the off the album, the new album.
Oh, oh, the one that I'm excited to share next, or is that what you mean?
Everything's fine.
No, I know, but like, do you mean like one that hasn't been shared,
Oh,
like
oh
yet,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
single?
I mean, yeah, any song really off the album.
So
Shared.
like the next single that's coming out is "Oh Well, Oh Well."
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm really excited about this next one coming out. It totally encapsulates what we're talking about too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because I wrote that song in the wake of my loss of like facing God,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically saying, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, I'm going to be okay. And at the end of the song, there's this just like triumphant orchestra, just like that. Just the outro is this triumphant orchestra that's just so, it's like hopeful, and it just makes your heart want to sing. It's like I'm singing about being totally like at the depths of the lowest point of my soul, and
Mm-hmm.
you know this, and it's like choosing to say like I'm gonna be okay. I'm
Right.
excited for that one to come out. There's actually a couple of songs on the record I haven't performed live yet,
Mm-hmm.
just because like a lot of times I like write so much that I'll fixate on the new song that I just wrote, and so when I play live shows, I'll I'll play like some songs off the upcoming record, and then I'll play like some totally new songs that people won't get to hear unless they come to a live show. So there's a couple songs I haven't performed off of the record yet. One of them is called "Make a Spark,"
Mm-hmm.
and that song is also this idea. It's actually the first song I wrote that inspired me to want to make another solo album. And it's just about, you know, at the time I was going through this period where I was afraid to truly step out as myself.
Mm-hmm.
And as myself, and also as myself as an artist. Um, and that song just completely encapsulates this idea. Um, you know, there's a tagline that kind of circulates throughout the song, and it changes slightly each time you hear it. And it's, I'm lying in the dark, and I'm afraid I'll make a spark. And by the end, it's like, how can I be a work of art if I'm a coward with my heart? Um, and it's just about the contemplative space of like, a lot of people live their life in this world for others,
Yes.
um, and you know they're not living who they are. And my hope is that through these songs, people will be encouraged and exhorted to begin that journey if they haven't already started it, that journey to step out and to be themselves in life or with their art or with the things that are in their heart that they're supposed to be doing in this world.
Yeah, no, I got all those feelings when I was listening to Everything's Fine. Just the be yourself and be hopeful is like I said, it's nice to hear that.
That's wonderful to hear. That makes me really happy.
Well, yes, yeah, and that's why I heard one song, and I said yes. I need to talk to her right now, please. Just because I thought it was fantastic, and I'm happy. I'm happy to chat with you.
That's wonderful. So you've heard Everything's Fine. Have you heard the other songs that have come out as well?
No. I've heard the entire album. That was pretty much it.
Oh, okay, great. I figured they sent you the entire album, so that's good.
Yes, yeah. No, I was listening to it earlier for.
You meant Everything's Fine is the whole album. I get it.
But so for the people at home who want to pick up the album when it's available, or follow you online, or catch a show when you start the touring, where can they do all that?
Gosh, my Instagram is always like a quick go-to for all that information, but my Instagram is like Jamie the Drake. But there's my website that's jamiedrakemusic.com, and it has all the links for the different places people can follow me. Spotify. If you follow me on Spotify, you'll be able to know like when the next single is coming out, when the album's coming out, because they kind of alert you and let you know. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another place that's essential, but I think that kind of covers it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Jamie, thank you so much for chatting with me. I anytime you want to come back and chat, I'd be more than happy to do that again.
Me too. Sounds great.
I'm glad, and I will sign up for your kids' writing music classes. I'll be there, and I have lots of material.
Awesome.
So
eventually, when I'm like doing lots and lots of touring, I'd love to offer like master classes on off days. I think that would be really great.
But I still want to start at the kid level, though. I'm not the master. I want the kid experience.
Good.
I want to write my songs in macaroni. That's what I want to do. Okay.
I have a kid song called Macaroni. So.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Well, I can't wait to see you perform that one live. Okay.
Okay. Well, when you come to my show, you can shout it out in the crowd. So.
There we go.
See what I can do.
But I'll let you go and continue to have a good rest of your day. Okay.
Great. You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.